Bear with me for just a moment. All right. Been confirmed. We are live streaming. So give me just one more second here. Bear with me for just a moment. All right. I don't think I need that anymore. All right. Welcome, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. The sun is shining. The birds are singing. It's beautiful outside, except as you can tell by my eyes, my allergies are tripping right now. So forgive me, all the pollen in the air. But thank you for tuning in, and everybody that's not able to be here, that's watching this later, thanks for stopping by and checking us out. We do this weekly training for notary signing agents every Tuesday at 9 a.m. My name is Mike Rudkowski. I'm a notary signing agent, and I'm the owner of Signature Signings Nationwide Mobile Notary and Loan Signing Service. I started this business back in 2001. And trust me, if you've made a mistake, I've made it 10 times over. Anything you've ever done, I've been way worse. Trust me. I never had anybody like Mark Wills or Bill Soroka or Carol from Notary to Pro or anybody else to help me through any of this. I went to the School of Hard Knocks, and I just want to share all the knowledge and experiences I've had over the last 20 plus years in this business and share it with you, so you don't have to go through the same trials and tribulations that I did, and you can find success a whole lot faster. One of my mentors, Tony Robbins, which this is the old school Tony Robbins cassettes, personal power that I have, but in his 30-day, what is it called? Program for Unlimited Success. He talked about role modeling and how finding somebody that's already in a place of where you want to be successfully, or whatever your definition of success is, to find somebody that's in that position and to talk to them, to get to know them, to mentor them, or to be a mentoree of them. I'm doing this here for you guys for free because I just think it's important to pay it forward. And having said that, I want to offer you guys a little bit more than just my knowledge. And I've learned in this business that mindset is everything, as you can tell. You know, we're all just little goldfish trying to be sharks in this world. And so I've brought Rachel Chisenhall of Therapy with Rach. She's a licensed life, marriage, family therapist. And she's going to talk to us a little bit about some stuff today and try and help us get our mindset correct and on the right path, so that we can not just have a successful business, but successful life as well, and to learn that balance between the two. So Rachel, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Of course. I'm happy to be here every week. Thanks, Mike.
You're welcome. So what are we talking about today?
So I was going to talk about a topic that's actually really significant to everybody, no matter where you are in life or what you do for a living, which is the power of the stories that we tell ourselves. And I probably won't be able to even really get to the tip of it in 15 minutes, but I want to introduce the idea and just give some people some things that they can be aware of as they go through their day and their week. So the stories we tell ourselves are actually the meaning that we give to experiences or events that we have in life. They're not the actual experience or event. But what happens is, if starting in childhood, we start telling ourselves stories. Human beings are the only creature that actually have the brain capability to make meaning of things. So we love to make meaning out of everything. And unfortunately, we're also really wired to usually look for a negative meaning. And we do this for protection. So it makes sense that the brain is wired to keep us alive, keep us safe. That also means from emotional harm as well, like abandonment, rejection, etc. So we're wired for these negative stories. And so the more aware you are of your stories, your patterns, the more power you have in deciding if they're actually true and if they're serving you. This is actually what I say, no matter what, if you go to therapy or have a coach, no matter what, just this alone, if this is worked on, could improve everybody's lives. So even if we don't reach your goal in therapy that you came in for, just this alone is really, really, really powerful and life-changing. So the example I usually use is, let's say that because of certain life experiences or childhood experiences I've had, I have this unconscious or core belief that people are rude. I just think people are rude. And so the brain is also really, really egocentric. And what I mean by that is we don't like to be wrong. Human beings do not like to be wrong, and we do not like to be crazy. Even if what we are right about isn't true and doesn't serve us, the ego would rather have that kind of confirmation than, unfortunately, kind of move naturally towards self-awareness and be open to being wrong. Right? We have to have a lot of self-worth or connected to our worth to know it's okay to be wrong and that we're still just as worthy and lovable and enough. So if I believe that I have this core belief that people are rude, I'm going to find evidence of it everywhere. My brain is wired for me to be right. Remember, our brains are all wired for us to be right. So I have this belief people are rude. I'm going to find evidence of it everywhere. And not only am I going to find evidence I'm right, I'm going to filter out automatically, my brain will do this, any evidence I'm wrong. So we collect data all day long. Our brains just do it naturally. It's how we survive in the world. It's how we learn. It's how we develop. It just is what our brains do. It's pretty brilliant, actually. So I will filter out evidence I'm wrong. I won't collect the data that says people are kind, people care about me, people are helpful, because that doesn't fit my story. And remember, stories are never facts. I'm sorry. They're meaning we made out of something. They're never factual. You can't prove it, is what I mean by that. But our stories honestly create our entire lives. I see it the most in relationships, and I see it the most in the way we have our careers and businesses set up, as far as the impact. So it's really important if you can kind of grow that self-awareness of like, I wonder what is my common themes in my stories, because then you have a chance to like literally kind of jump in and shift it or rewrite it. And it's really hard to do this by ourselves. That's why I always say, like, this is the one thing I feel really confident that no matter what your thoughts or feelings about therapy are, this will be beneficial to every human in therapy, or a coach, because it's self-awareness is all the power, right? You can't change anything you're not aware of. It just won't work. Right. And so, when Mike and I even have conversations about being entrepreneurs and running businesses, it's really, we catch ourselves even seeing where our own stories show up, and because of experiences we've had. So when we go through slow seasons or seasons that seem really hopeless, it's really easy to make a whole story about that and then start looking for evidence that our story's right, even though we wouldn't want to be right about that. I don't want to be right that it's hopeless. But what I'll do is I'll keep finding more and more evidence that things are difficult, and it will appear every time like magic, that evidence. Right. And so kind of remembering, and for people that like manifestation or law of attraction, I feel like this is actually the science behind it and how our brains actually do this. It correlates really well in the sense that if my story is everything's okay, everything's going to be okay, I'm going to find evidence of that all day long in my life. Everything's going to be okay. Doesn't mean I'm not going to get sad, discouraged, have the emotions. Can't get rid of emotions. Emotions are information, and we need that information. But we get to decide the meaning we make of the emotion, and learning how to just sit with it and process it in healthy ways so that we don't create these really, really in-depth, meaningful stories that actually don't serve us in the long run.
Amen.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Rachel. I can, listen to what you said. I can take that and actually adapt it to my story, to my past, and, associate to running a notary signing business. And the first thing that comes to my mind is when I very first got back into building this business the second time around. I fell off for a little while after the market crash in 2008. I went back to bartending and serving tables and picked up a few signings here and there with signing service. But eventually I got to the point where I was like, I'm tired of working for the man. I'm tired of building somebody else's dreams. I'm going to go out there and start my own business up again. And the hardest thing I had to do was just make those initial connections with new prospects, with building relationships with title and escrow officers, the people I know that would be feeding me on a regular basis. But I'd always tell myself, I just have this negative story in my mind that they're not going to want to talk to me or meet me, or, I remember pulling up the first time. I think we've had this conversation before. I don't know if it was on the YouTube channel or not, but I just remember driving up to a title company. I said, all right, today's the day I'm going to start going out and building these relationships. And the first title office I drove up to, I sat in my car for about 10 minutes, just talking to myself, not out loud, but in my head as I looked at myself through my rearview window, about what I was going to say when I walked in and who I was going to ask for, and just everything. And, I finally got the courage to get out of my car and walk in there and do it. And nothing that I had planned in my head came out the way I'd wanted it to, but, I made that initial contact, and it just got easier and easier the more I did something. They say repetition's the mother of skill. And I learned something recently through one of our real estate coaches, Elias. He said something to me about it's better to be imperfectly consistent than perfectly inconsistent. And it kind of got me to thinking, it's like, these meetings don't have to be perfect every time we do them. But if we do it every Tuesday, maybe you're going to get something, maybe you won't get anything out of it. But if we consistently do this, there's always going to be something a little morsel that we're going to be able to pick up out of something from these meetings. It'll help us to be a little bit better. And so I just remembered, having that conversation with myself.
Absolutely.
To get the confidence to talk to these people, or to go to a networking event and meet people that I've never met before in my life. And, when you're at these networking mixers, a shot of vodka or two doesn't hurt to help that courage out a little bit too. So
Right. Whatever works for you. I think, and I love your vulnerability in that, Mike, and when you share that story, because I know it's so relatable for really everybody. And that is the thing, is we're going to talk about, I think, imposter syndrome soon on here too, because that's, you kind of already tapped into that a little bit. Like we all are very, very capable of having imposter syndrome sometimes, where we think, who are we to do this? Who am I to achieve this? Who am I to ask for this? Right. But ultimately, if you look for evidence all day long that it's going to work out, right? And you said, I kept doing it. And that is the power. Like you said it perfectly, in that consistency of just going for it, because what's going to happen is your experiences are going to push back against the old story, the old narrative, right? And so it won't be so scary anymore, because now you have this evidence that you've created in your life that's like, actually, it usually works out. So then your brain literally looks for evidence that it works out.
Exactly.
Right. And you just go with that momentum. It's like magic, only it's not. We create it.
When I coach other signing agents, I tell them that, listen, your perspective does not equal somebody else's reality.
I've heard you say that. Yes.
I say it all the time to people, because I'm like, whatever you think it is, that's just your own self telling you, like, well, that person doesn't like me, I don't want to approach them, because they don't even acknowledge me or look at me, or they don't talk to me. And I've learned that most of the time, those people probably have the same exact fear of coming to speak to me, just like I do to go talk to them.
Right. But you make meaning of it, right? And we make it negative. Like, they must not like me.
Yes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Or that, they already have a notary signing agent. Why would they want to talk to me? I already know that they're working with this person. Trust me, guys, every realtor, well, maybe not every realtor and lender, but definitely every escrow officer has their preferred signing agent. But you know what? When things get tough on them and their signing agents are already booked up, they need to have a second and a third. And when I first started building my business, I was okay being the third or fourth place. And I was okay driving out 60 miles at 8:00 at night to go get signings, if that's what I had to do to prove to these people that I was worthy enough to be on their team.
I love that. Yeah,
right?
Because you're just creating it by hustling and deciding that even if it's, a no isn't a no forever, right? Or it's like a not yet most of the time. And you can create that story any way you want. And honestly, When you look at people who have achieved so much success, Oprah's one of my favorite examples of how many no's she got. I mean, and how many rejections she got. And what she did well is say, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to take a story that this is hopeless for me, right? I'm not going to take the story that this is never going to happen for me. It's just not going to happen this way right now. And that narrative is everything. It's everything for relationships, for success, for achievement, whatever you want.
Amen. Does anybody have anything that they want to add, their personal experiences or beliefs or anything that maybe that Rachel can help address, or maybe share with the group that we could take some bit of knowledge from your experiences? Anyone jump in there?
I'm happy to answer any questions.
If not, I get it. We're all a little camera shy. We'll eventually get used to this. I want to create a family here, guys, where we can all just really help create and share opportunity and experiences and just motivate and push each other to be better and stronger, and really build this together. So I haven't gotten this done yet. I've actually just reached out to my web developer today to find out when this is going to be up, and he's going to get back to me. But if you haven't already done so, log into signaturesIgnings.com, and you're going to select option 5. And that's going to take you to a little vetting quiz. In order for you to take that vetting quiz, it's going to force you to make up an account on our website. The account doesn't cost you anything. It's free, and it's going to give you a members area on our website. And you know what? I could probably bring that up here really quick.
And I also think Mike Cynthia was raising her hand.
Oh, yes. Cynthia, please.
Hi, good morning. I just have a quick question. It's really hard to be a loan signing agent in the state of California because everything changes so quickly, and we're set to the standard that you cannot make any kind of an error. And working with loan doc companies, it's really hard because they do lowball us a lot, very much of the time. And when I've tried reaching out to escrow companies, they seem to prefer the loan doc companies because of their, I guess, guarantee, the perceived notion that they are more experts or more qualified. How do you get past that? Because I've been doing this for 12 years and I've been having this problem for 12 years.
Where are you located at in California?
San Diego.
San Diego? I know there's a lot of signing agents down in San Diego. I'm guessing maybe there's just as many signing services as there are signing agents.
Correct.
But every single one of these owners of these signing services are signing agents just like you and I. So being that you have 12 years experience in this industry, I find it difficult to understand why somebody wouldn't want to work with you directly. Most of my clients work with me directly, and they're out of various signings that we give away to all of our signing agents across the country for when I can't personally do the signings or if I'm already booked. Tell me about your experiences. Like, how are you approaching the escrow officers? And are you just taking a no for the one time? Or, I mean, tell me exactly what it is they're saying to you.
So I really should have clarified. I've been doing this as a side hustle for 12 years. I started because I felt like when I bought my house, I got a little bit blindsided. So I wasn't happy with the transaction of real estate. So I did my real estate license first. Then I did my notary, and I do it as a side hustle. So I would do it like after hours. Unfortunately, I was one of 18,000 that was let go most recently for the layoffs, the tech layoffs. So now I'm trying to do this full time. And because of my experience where I have been doing it for 12 years as a part-timer or every so often contractor, it doesn't seem to come across like I'm that much of an expert. Does that make sense? Like I'm not fully committed.
I get that. And unfortunately, I say this to a lot of people. If you're only halfway in, you're halfway out, unfortunately. And if these people aren't seeing you consistently on a regular basis, I mean, if you have a 9-to-5 job and you're only available on the weekends or in the evening times, it's difficult to really create that rapport with them. They don't want to call you and rely on you thinking that they're most likely going to get a no from you, unfortunately. And in my experiences, you're not the only person that's said this to me, and it tends to be true, especially for like single parents that, have to work around their kids' schedules and stuff like that. Um, it's difficult. And all I can do is really sympathize with you. I've learned that in this business, in order for you to become direct with these title and escrow companies, it's important to be consistently present. That doesn't mean every day. It doesn't mean every hour, but at least once a week, you need to be showing your face, dressed for success, ready to work, letting them know that you're available. And unfortunately, if you're not, there are people that already are. And so if you're not able to put yourself 100% into the game, unfortunately, you're only going to get half the opportunity when the full-time people aren't available, because there's a lot of people doing this as a side hustle as well. And that's really where the signing services are coming in. So you need to come to that crossroad with yourself. Like, am I going to really do this full time? And if so, I'm not going to lie, I had to have some savings, and it took me about probably a good solid year to build some real solid relationships where I could finally start weaning myself off of the signing services.
Nice.
And it's like a baby. We're all starting out in this business as babies, and we're drinking milk and slowly working our way up to solid food. And it takes some time to get up to that place, and that comes with hard work of consistently being in front of these people and showing them that you really want their business by little small sacrifices. I call it like a $5 box of pastries, or what I would take goodie bags into the offices, and would have little 5-hour energy bar drinks or candy bars or whatever I could do to make an impression. And I would tell them, listen, I'm available in the evening times. I'm willing to drive 50 miles if that's what it takes to get these signings from you and to really build that rapport. But there's no easy answer to your question, unfortunately, except just being consistently out there and presenting yourself and being dressed for success, letting them know that you're ready to work. And eventually you're going to build those relationships. But unfortunately, like I said, if you're only halfway in, then you're technically halfway out. And I don't want to sound like a glass half empty kind of guy. I want it to be full, but there's a lot of us out that are doing this full time that they're going to go to because they know they're going to get the yes from them. And the signing services, they always say yes. We've got you covered because we have a team of signing agents all across the country any day and any time. So it makes it easy. But I know that they like having somebody local for their local stuff because they know the documents are going to get dropped off right away, first thing in the morning. And they're going to be able to communicate with that person directly instead of having to go through a third party like a signing service. So I hope that kind of helps answer your question some.
It did. Thank you, Mike. I think it also encourages me to now look, 'cause like I said, without having a 9 to 5 anymore, it definitely encourages me to go out there and make this my new 9 to 5 per se.
You know what? I feel you right there. And I remember working for somebody else, and it's tough doing that 9 to 5. And the hardest thing is making that transition from working 9 to 5 and then working for yourself full time. But I'll tell you what, if you're not willing to invest in yourself, nobody else is going to want to invest in you. And I just think it's important, to know that if everyone loves that safety of 9 to 5, but the mentality of it is I'm busting my butt every day to build somebody else's dreams. If I fell in life, I can blame it on myself, and everyone loves having that safety. But I'll tell you what, working as a bartender, working as a food server, like I have in the past for many, many years, I could have never had the opportunity to make $200,000+ in a single year like I've been able to do in the past. That's only going to come from you putting yourself all the way into this game and consistently being consistent. So
thanks a lot, Mike. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Everybody's going to get there. It's just a matter of time and effort. And you seriously get what you put into this. And I told myself when I first started that if I can clock in from 8 to 6 every day for my employer, then I can do the same thing for myself. And so I started waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'd be up at 5:30 and I'd be at the gym first. And then I'd be clocking in for myself for work and going out and buying $5 boxes of pastries and driving them all over town to the different title companies with my business cards. And once people started giving me signings, I'd walk the donuts into the office and go directly to the people that are giving me signings first and let them have their first choice. And I'd always get some really good ones and then some crappy ones. I'm like, well, you haven't given me any signings, so you get the old. I mean, it's still better than nothing, but that's just a little mindset. It's not really the truth of how that goes, but it's not like I buy the day old ones for the people that don't give me anything. But I want to show my appreciation to the people that are taking care of me first, obviously. So, all right. Anybody else got anything they want to say right now to myself or Rachel? Otherwise, we're going to get into some training.
Victoria's hand is up.
Yes. I'm not very good at Zoom. If you guys haven't learned, I'm still trying to figure this stuff out myself. So forgive me, but yes.
Hey, Mike, nice to meet everybody. My question was that, since I am a in-home childcare provider and, I have the luxury of being at home and the luxury of being able to step away from, the daycare as needed, and like wanting to put in, like how you're saying, give as much as I possibly can to kind of transition and phase daycare out to bring loan signing options in. Like, I know there's no guarantee in life. I know that, but like, as far as work, like in your crystal ball vision, can you see that happening for someone like ourselves in this, platform where, we are trying to phase out our 9 to 5s and then.
Most definitely. I mean, I personally did it myself. I have a friend of mine who I mentored, and she owned a daycare service out of her home for 20 years. And now she's running her own signing service. It's not nationwide, it's just local to the area. But she's a go-getter, she's a hustler, she knows how to talk to people. And that's a lot about why we have Rachel here is, some of us, we're okay with doing all the paperwork and everything, but maybe we just don't quite have the personality that we need to have to go out there and build relationships right away. I'll tell you what, I know Rachel personally outside of here, and anytime we're out and about, she can talk to anybody. Me, it takes me a minute to really warm up to people.
No, that's totally true. Well, one thing I love, Mike, that you're
All
talking
right.
about, such a theme though for Cynthia too and Victoria, is like one thing that Mike and I talk about a lot is the power of planting seeds, right? And he gave so many examples to Cynthia of seed planting, right? And that's honestly what I do as a therapist. I don't know when it's going to shift. I don't know when somebody's going to show up and it's all going to click and it's all going to align. Like you said, I know there's no magic ball guarantee. Man, it would be nice if there was. I would pay good money for that, girl. Good money for that. But I do know planting seeds, something will grow. Something will grow. It just will. And so that's that power again of just deciding, I'm going to look for evidence that it's blooming, it's harvesting, it's going to come about. Instead of just going out every morning and be like, why has it not grown? Why is it not there yet? Right? I'm really guilty of that. Patience is something I will work on for the rest of my life.
Planting seeds is really what it's all about right now,
right?
Especially in this market right now. Like business, I'll be 100% honest with you guys. I was doing twice the production last year at this time than I am right now, and those aren't things that I can personally control. Unfortunately, interest rates have gone up. There's a lack of supply in the housing market right now. So all we can do right now is plant these seeds and build these relationships. You guys are coming into this business. I can already tell you a lot of people like us are leaving the business.
Mm-hmm.
And that's unfortunate. And I don't want that to deter you from coming into the business, because this market is very cyclical. It goes up and down. And I remember feeling like a lot of you feel about 3 years ago, where I was planting seeds, and I just was not getting much return. And part of it was because maybe I got a little lackadaisical in showing my face as much as I had been. I experienced a little bit of a success and thought it'd be okay to just sit at home and watch TV and wait for my phone to ring. But my phone didn't ring. And after 3 days of not getting a phone call, I decided, well, I need to go check on my people and see if they're still alive because my phone's not ringing. And as soon as I walked in the office with my polo shirt on, my slacks, and let them know that I was ready to work, my phone started ringing again. And literally, if you're out of sight, you're out of mind, because there's a lot of people like us going out and meeting these escrow officers, these lenders, these realtors. And so if you're not consistently in front of these people, they're going to go to whoever they talk to last, most likely. So I hope that kind of puts a little bit of insight for you. And in building this, you've got to be consistently out there with everyone.
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, sharing. Thank you, Rachel.
Welcome, Victoria, too. I know we had a conversation on the phone once or twice, right?
Yeah, a great conversation, in fact. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for being here. I saw you didn't quite make the grade on our vetting quiz, but you were like a question or two off, and that's impressive, not having any experience.
Little,
So, we're gonna get you there, go girl. We're gonna get you there. You got plenty of time to, at least you have something to fall back on right now. Right now is a perfect time if you're looking to build into this business full time, but you're just not quite ready yet. To just go out there and start planting some seeds when you can. Things are gonna turn around, and our escrow officers are going to need us more than ever, once they do.
Oh, good. Well, I'll be here. Well,
Amen.
I'm gonna sign off. Cut the camera. We'll be listening because the daycare babies are about to wake up. So
Look at the babies, Victoria.
I'll be posting this video later on too.
Marla had her hand up next, Mike.
Who?
Marla.
Hi, Marla. What's going on?
Hi. This, my just listening to everyone, I'm kind of having the same issues, or I would say at this point I have concerns because it's more psychological for me. I have no problems talking to people.
Okay.
Whatsoever. I can actually pick up a conversation with a fly with no problem. But what I have a problem with is the planting those seeds. So I go out, I can walk in, I have no fears, I'm very comfortable. I'll pick up a conversation, introduce myself and those things. But then if I don't hear from them, then I'm like, oh, they're not interested. Or if they respond to me in a very flat, oh, well, thank you, kind of as a matter of, well, not as a matter of fact, but just kind of like no energy behind it. Then
Right.
I figure, well, they're not really interested. I have one that I have been frequently going back to, very welcoming. She's very nice. She embraces me every time, tells me, come on in. But I still haven't heard from her. And this is like my second round. So then what happens is I'll get discouraged. Me becoming discouraged is what I know it's hindering me. I know that's what it is.
I'm going to speak for Rachel for just a half a second, but I think the discouragement is probably you telling a story to yourself. Am I right, Rachel?
Right. So yeah, I mean, Marla, you just gave such a great example, and I love, you're almost kind of trying to fight it, right? Like I can hear it in your description of like, I know I'm good at this. Like, I know I can connect to people, right? And you've obviously collected evidence that says you are. And then there's this other part, that this evidence of like, but sometimes it doesn't go anywhere. Or sometimes I feel a little dismissed, maybe, right? When you said it kind of goes flat.
How are you? Good. How are you doing?
And so,
Claudia, can you mute yourself, please? Sorry.
Next one.
No worries, go ahead and get set up.
So, but I think too, Marla, for you to really, it's okay to acknowledge that, right? Like there's no shame. We all are going to have stories that don't serve us. That is part of being a human being, because we have experiences that we don't like all the time since childhood. So I think for you to just say, I'm talk to yourself, right? In your head, not out loud, or out loud if you want to, but I'm having this kind of inner conversation right now where a part of me is really good at finding evidence that I know I can connect to people, and I show up as a trustworthy human. That's really important in my business. And another part of me is struggling with finding evidence that it's not going to work out. That fearful part, it's not going to work out, is trying to protect you. Honestly, all parts of us serve us. And it's all comes down to protection and safety. Always we can layer it that way with humans. Even the way we sabotage ourselves, it's for protection. But it would be really nice if we skipped that part sometimes. So to kind of go to that place of, I don't know that I need the protection from a rejection. Been rejected before, I survived, right? Like kind of really trying to tap into like, I don't want to look for that evidence that this isn't going to work. I know it's trying to protect me. Thank you for showing up. I don't need it. I can get through this. I can handle a rejection. I can handle a no. Everyone gets a no. Normalize it, make it neutral, right? Don't let it have that power in your body, because the more power it has in our body, the more our stories are going to look for data. It's true.
Right.
Right. I love your honesty with yourself. I mean, I feel like you have a really good idea and good insight of where you're struggling. And so to keep talking to that, like, I don't need this protection. I don't need the protection of what if it doesn't work? What if they don't like me?
And I can tell you right now, Marla, that's not the case whatsoever. The case is that we just don't, there's just not enough opportunity out there right now to feed everything. So
A la comida nunca le hicimos no.
I mean,
You might have to start doing announcements for everybody to do themselves.
I'm terrible at this stuff. Forgive me, guys. There we go. So Marla, just like I said, you need to just stay consistent, stay persistent. There's, like I said, I'm barely doing half the amount of production that I was doing last year because this business is cyclical. So don't get down on yourself. Just keep doing what you're doing, because these people are going to remember that you're the one showing up every week and saying hi and checking in. And when stuff does start to come through the pipeline, which is springtime, and there's a lot of contracts out there right now, not as many as there were before, but this is the time of year when things really start to get going. So
I think also for myself, because I have a sales background. So I've been in sales for like 20 something years.
right.
And it's interesting now I'm on the opposite end of what I'm used to, you know. Now I'm actually the one that's going in. I'm the what do you call it? The hunter.
Right.
You know, and so it's interesting because what I'm doing with that is again, if I don't get the response, then in my head, I'm like, oh, okay, they're not interested. And it's okay. Like, I'm okay with it to some degree.
They're interested. They just have nothing to give you right now.
Oh.
That's really what it comes down to. And you're not the only person that's doing that at the moment. Unfortunately, this market is really sorting out a lot of assigning agents that have like some type of savings or something to fall back on, as opposed to those that are living day to day. And, it is what it is. Unfortunately, if the lack of production goes down or the lack of opportunity goes down, we don't have enough opportunity to sustain our lifestyle. Either we have to lower our lifestyle or we have to go out and find some other type of opportunities to sustain our lifestyle. And right now, the mortgage market and everything just isn't sustaining the amount of production that we used to enjoy. And so it's making it difficult for a lot of signing agents. I know several signing agents that are gone back to working full-time jobs or part-time jobs. And, there's nothing wrong with that. I did that before when the market crashed in 2008. And I got back into it when I noticed that things were turning back around. And I got better the first 8 years. I was just living off of signing services and one relationship that I had with an escrow officer. And then after the market crashed, my phone stopped ringing. And then I said, all right, I noticed that the market's starting to pick back up. I'm going to start building this business again. And I went out there doing everything that I know I didn't know how to do before. I didn't have the mentality. That's a different story that we'll get into later on in another episode. But just know that you're not the only person to experience this, and it has nothing to do with you whatsoever. You just keep doing what you're doing, and eventually, once the market turns around, you're going to be the one that's enjoying the harvest of all those seeds that you've been planting.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. I promise you, if you stick with it and you keep doing what you're doing, because it doesn't sound like you're doing anything wrong, because I know exactly where you're coming from, you will I remember I told you when I was sitting on the couch for 3 days and wasn't getting a lot of work. It was because I wasn't showing my face. But even then, the work was just mediocre. But then one day, man, something clicked with the economy and the way everything went. And I worked for 3 years straight, not having a moment to breathe. And I'm actually glad that's over. And that's where I needed to learn how to balance my life and my work, because then I was working crazy hours every day, all day. And I wish I didn't do that, because I had some personal things that happened because of that, most likely. That's, we all just need to find that balance. And so that's what we're all here for, is to learn from experience and everything. I want to get Robin on here if he's here. Robin, are you here? I think he's here. I saw him here.
Yep, I'm here.
There he is. So I know still have some more questions here, but I want to get Robin's been hanging out here with us for a few moments, and I want to get him back to work. But he's our in-house mortgage lender, and he wants to give us a little update about the mortgage market. And as many of you have been listening to for a few minutes, Robin, a few of our signing agents are, trying to put some feelers out there, but we're not getting a lot of reciprocation. Maybe you could give us some good insight on what our future looks like with the mortgage industry, and if are we going to have some bright days ahead of us, or what's going on?
So I'll start with where we're at right now, and then where we think we're going. So
Okay.
Right now, the most recent Case-Shiller home price index report came out, and this is the gold standard for home price appreciation. And so it showed just from February, home prices rose 0.2% after falling modestly for the last 7 months, kind of signaling an inflection point in the market, right? That, the slower days are behind us now. So year over year, home prices are up 2%, which is a bit of a deceleration from the previous report. But from the peak of interest rates in June in 2022, home prices came down about 3%, which is a far cry from a housing bubble. And they're already starting to turn around. We saw just in February's report. So some of the hardest hit cities, San Diego, up 1.5%, San Francisco's up 1%, LA's up 1%, Denver's up almost 1%. So we're starting to see an inflection point there, just with interest rates coming down about 1% off the highs. Those of you who have heard me speak before may remember that I've told you to circle May 10th on your calendar. And so the reason why is this is where we'll get an updated CPI, which is the Consumer Price Index inflation report. And we're going to finally start to see shelter inflation start a series of 3 months of where it's going to have meaningful decline. Why is that important, right? Interest rates follow inflation. That's probably one of the biggest motivators, indicators of interest rates right now. And we're going to start on May 10th, we're going to start to get very interest rate friendly reports. And so what that means is likely in the next 6 to 12 months, everybody who's bought a home with a mortgage is probably going to refinance. It's probably going to be beneficial for them. So lower rates means more buyers in the market, and everybody who bought previously is going to be able to refinance. So that's something for you to keep planting seeds for. Get ready for that time. That'll be a good harvest time over the next 6 to 12 months.
Amen. Thank you, Robin. So we got a couple weeks until that report comes out. So keep tuning in every Tuesday at 9 a.m. We got Robin here, and that May 10th. What day is that? What day is May 10th? I haven't looked at to see what that is.
It is, let me pull up a calendar.
It's actually a Wednesday.
Yep.
Maybe we'll have a quick little 10-minute Zoom training on Wednesday after the Tuesday with you once that market report comes out, so you can kind of give us an insight on what happens then. But
yeah, absolutely.
Take your time, Robin. Get back to work, buddy. I know you got some stuff to do, but thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, buddy. All right, gang.
I think Melissa's had her hand up, but I don't know if she's still.
Yeah.
Melissa, did you?
I did have it, but then I decided not to, but I'll go ahead.
Jump in, Melissa.
You mentioned a quiz on when we signed up. I don't
Yes.
recall doing that because maybe I did it before or something.
That's okay. Yes. So if you go to signaturessignings.com, you create your free accounts,
Yeah.
and then you select option 5 on the drop down menu underneath where it says how may we help you? And that's for any aspiring or current signing agents that want to get signed up with our signing service. And we put you through the ringer. There's 27 questions. We want to provide our services from people that are knowledgeable in the signing industry. Obviously, not everybody is where we need them to be, but that's why we do these free Zoom trainings. That's why I do trainings in person. I have sporadic day-long training classes for people to sign up and learn everything from A to Z to become the best signing agent you can be. And so you take that training class or that 27 question quiz, and if you have 15 minutes to pass it, to take it and pass it, and assuming you pass, then my admin's going to email you out fidelity approval paperwork to get fidelity approved under our signing service. That way you can work for our fidelity clients through us. And it also gives you on your profile a little thumbs up, which means that you're one of our preferred signing agents. So anytime an opportunity comes up in your locale within a 25-mile radius, you're going to be one of the first to be notified of it, and you'll get that opportunity above anybody else within our database. We have a database of over 60,000 notaries across the country. So the people that take this quiz and showcase to us that they know what they're doing and can represent our clients the way we'd like them to be represented are going to get first opportunity for these signings. And all you got to do is pass the quiz.
So does that come after you have to join and pay? Because I think I set up everything, but I didn't go that far, so I never got the quiz. So it will come after that, the quiz?
Well, there's a one-time $25 fee to get that green thumb up. Now, if we don't have anybody in our area, then we're gonna still give those signing opportunities to the people that actually let me back up for just a second, because I'm actually you take the quiz, you pass it, you get fidelity approved. All right. It'll show in our network that you're fidelity approved under our signing service. That does not give you the green thumbs up, and I apologize for misspeaking on that. It's the one-time $25 fee that gets you the first notification of signing opportunities. And then if you do the $25 a month, then you get auto assigned to these opportunities. Now, I'm not here to take your guys' money, but it costs money to run a business. I would not recommend at this moment in time, being that the industry is as slow as it is, to pay $25 a month to a signing service that I personally can say, I cannot guarantee anybody's going to get any signings from anyone right now. All right. The one-time $25 fee, that goes to my admin expenses and everything to set up your accounts with our signing service. It's a one-time $25 fee, and it gets you a green thumb so that any time in forever in the future, we have a signing in your area, you're going to be the first one to get notified. Okay. It's just the nature of doing business. You know, we all do things and we all need to get paid for them. So I know that there's a rule out there that nobody wants to pay to play, but unfortunately it's the people that are willing to make a little bit of investment in themselves or they get vested into. So that's really what it comes down to. If you don't want to pay $25 the one time, I get it. You don't have to. I just know that there's people that are willing to do that are going to get the first opportunity for those signings. And that's because they invested in us and we want to invest in them. Now, once things really get going, you may want to consider doing the $25 a month, because you are going to get auto assigned to all these signings. You're going to get the notification, you're going to hit accept, and boom, there's no negotiation, there's no nothing. We guarantee you a minimum of $100 for every buyer, seller, and refinance signing. And it's automatically going to be given to you if you're the first person to accept it within your area. So
awesome. Thank you for
you're very welcome. I appreciate you asking that question so I can help clarify that for you guys. So Yeah, if you haven't set up your free account yet, signaturescience.com, option 5, take the quiz, and we can try and get you guys some opportunities. All right. So I think all the hands are covered, are they, Rachel? Because you're
pretty
better.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't see any more hands.
All right. Well, yeah, I think I did see a hand. I'm kind of scrolling, figuring this out.
Oh, Carmen?
We got Carmen.
Yes,
Hey,
that's
Carmen.
me. Hi. I just stumbled on you, so I don't know how I got here. I don't know
Don't know
if
what
I'm
you're doing
signed
here?
up with
Yeah.
you. No, I mean, I heard everything you said, except can you give me the site where we go and sign up again? I know you just said it, but I was
Yes.
driving. I'm sitting
It's
still now.
signaturessignings.com. It's the signature is singular, signings is plural.
Okay.
And then just
And
select option 5 from the drop down menu.
I'm sorry, select what?
Option 5.
Oh, okay, option.
And then the prompts will lead you the rest of the way.
Okay, great. I'm commissioned in Maryland and DC.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
do you know, just off the top of your head, do you all do any or a lot of work in those two, either of those two places?
I'll be 100% honest with you. I can say that we probably don't have a lot of work out there, being that we're California based.
Okay.
Having said that, a lot of people I can tell you are leaving California right now. They're moving to Tennessee and Texas and Idaho and everywhere else around the world, or country rather. So there could be some signings out there. I don't keep a tally on like where exactly geographically all of our signings are at, but I can also tell you guys this, that as you're trying to build direct relationships with these title and escrow officers, the difference between Signature Signings and any other signing service that I know of out there is that we allow you to use our status with title and escrow companies to get in to work directly with these title companies. So, for example, Fidelity National Title, I know for a fact, they want you to have 2 years of experience in the industry as a signing agent before they'll even consider working with you directly. They also want you to have at least $100,000. And I'll tell you that some other title and escrow companies want you to have $1 million of E&O insurance. Now, if you're a member and partner of Signature Signings, we allow you to use our signing service to get in to work direct with these clients and bypass those loopholes, because technically we're the ones doing the business, and we only charge a $50 transaction fee for you to run that signing opportunity through us if you're not directly approved with whatever title company you're trying to work with. So if you have some opportunities with Fidelity or Lennar or Orange Coast, and if you go to our members area, you can see all the title companies. I have a list on there that shows all the title companies that Signature Signings is currently approved with. If you have opportunities with them, or you want to create opportunities with these companies, and you don't have the experience or you don't have the E&O insurance that they require you to do, you can send those opportunities through Signature Signings so that you can still capitalize on those opportunities. And not only that, Signature Signings actually pays a $20 referral fee, if you will, for all of those clients out of area signings. So maybe you have a direct clients there in DC, but they have a signing here in California. You get that client to send that work through us so we can share that opportunity with one of our California signing agents. We're going to give you $20. And that's for every order that they send through us. On average, my clients individually as title and escrow officers probably send between 20 to 40 signings through us on a monthly basis. So imagine if you had a direct client you were working with locally and you were able to sell them on Signature Signings nationwide signing service. Technically, you now have your own nationwide signing service and you're being compensated for just creating the relationship, and then we're handling all the hassle of organizing the signing with notary and answering all the notary's questions and concerns and everything. So there's another source of income for you guys right there if you're already working direct with title and escrow officers. Does that help answer everyone's question? I hope. All right, I didn't get any no's, so that's good. Jagjit, How you doing? I see your hand up, my friend.
Yeah, okay. I have a question.
Shoot.
So this is my first time today with you guys meeting.
Welcome.
Thank you. So as you said, if we pay like $25 every month, so there's a chance of getting more chances of getting the signings.
It'll
So,
guarantee you a minimum of $100 for every buyer, seller, and refinance signing. And it'll also allow you to get automatically assigned and to use all the benefits of the membership that's on our website. And you can refer to our website, signaturescience.com, and go to the members tab and click on the partnership program that we have there.
yeah,
And
I did. I just stopped by when we have to pay. So I just stopped right there.
Got it.
Okay. So my question is,
Uh-huh.
suppose I got a signing, I need a help with the document. So is there anyone we can text you guys and get help while
Oh,
we're
yeah,
the
most
members?
definitely. Most definitely. So if you guys are in a signing and you have a question or concern about something, you can dial our 866 number. It's 866 SIG sign, SIGN. That translates to 744-7446. And if you hit extension 2, my phone's going to ring. And while you're at the signing table, if you have a question about a form, how to explain it or understand it, whatever the question or concern is, I can help guide you through explaining that document to the client. Or if you notice that you're just not sure of what something is before you go out to the signing, please call me. You can also reach me directly at extension 700, that same exact number, if you're not in a signing. And it's
Can you
not,
repeat the number?
yeah, it's 1-866-744-7446. So if you're in a signing, you can hit extension 2 and you'll get me, or my own personal extension with the same number as extension 700. So you guys can always reach me directly at that number. You can also text the 866 number and I'll get the text as well. And my admin will get it as well. And if it's not of dire straits, you can text it to us and we can help address, your question as soon as we're available.
So if we are a member, so if I don't get signing from you, it's from other signing service, you still answer the question or?
Like, yeah, I want you guys to become the best signing agents you can be. All right. I want to motivate. I want to inspire. I want you to create these personal relationships with your escrow officers, because ultimately the goal is Signature Signings wants a network. We want to partner with you guys. We want you to build those opportunities with your direct escrow officers. And so we want you to be the best you can be for them, because eventually you're going to have the opportunity to build that relationship so good that these clients are going to start sharing all of their out of area signings with us through you so that we can share it with everybody else. And so I'm here for you guys any time of the day. Just reach out to me. And if I can't get to you right when you call me or you text me, I'm going to do my damnedest to get to you as soon as I'm out of my signing or whatever it is I'm doing at that moment in time. So you can call me and you can text me, and I don't care who the signing service is or who the title or escrow company is you're working for. I'll definitely here to help guide you guys and help you become the best signing agent you can be. I'd rather you guys call me before you call your title or escrow company and maybe diminish whatever rapport you may have with them because you weren't aware of something that's, you want to look like a rock star to these people. So please use me as a first line of defense before you have to call the title or escrow company.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for the.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right, guys. Wow. Well, usually these meetings are only supposed to be an hour long. We haven't even gotten into today's topic about going over settlement statements and all that stuff. But it's already been an hour. So I don't want to take too much time because I know that these people watching the video are probably not going to spend their whole time watching this for another extra 20-30 minutes. So we're going to move this topic from this week to next week. But I appreciate everyone showing up and everybody asking all the questions. I'm glad that you guys are answering these questions because obviously I haven't made it clear, or maybe you're just a newcomer and haven't heard about us yet and all the benefits that we offer you. But again, signaturescience.com, create your free account and go to the members area. There's tons of links of all kinds of great information that help you build your business. These videos that we're making right here are going to be on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. And you can also go and check out the links. There's a link. I forget what the link's named. It should be named YouTube channel, but I think it's called Workshops, actually. Now that I think about it, click on the Workshops link and you can watch some of our past videos as well. So anybody have any more questions, concerns about anything? All right, then the last thing I want to tell you guys is, Rachel, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your insights. I'm going to be adding that tab again on our members area called Rachel's Corner. And it'll give you an opportunity to reach out to Rachel if you have any questions or concerns. I know she's going to be starting up a monthly subscription type thing for therapy, like group therapy type stuff. And she also has a bunch of great links on there for meditation and all kinds of other great stuff. Maybe you can touch on that for just a second, Rachel.
Yeah, I'll go really quickly, but I'll be adding on and talking about this more as Mike and I do these together. And the best way to connect with me right now is through Instagram at therapy.with.rach. And I can always respond to messages on there. You can also email me at therapywithrach@gmail.com. So that's a great way to get a hold of me. And also you can always ask Mike as well if you have any questions for me or want to contact me as well.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. All right, everyone. This was a great meeting. I'm so happy to have everyone here. We're about motivating, inspiring, creating, and sharing opportunities with each other. So please reach out if there's any way you can add any type of benefits to the group by opportunity or mindset or experiences whatsoever. We welcome it. This is a safe place for everyone to come together and truly create a network. These other networks or these other groups that I see, everyone's like, gimme, but nobody wants to give anything in return. So the fact that you guys were here today and you asked those questions, I consider that a part of you giving so that I can answer those questions and give back to everyone. So again, thank you. We'll see you next Tuesday, 9 a.m. Tune in and hopefully you got something out of this today.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Feel free to reach out to me on the post where you got this information. If there's anything you have more questions or you just want to say some words about anything that we talked about today, definitely welcome it. So, all right, gang, take care. Bye.